Taking the right approach in your finances might seem automatic, but so often it isn't. And yet, your approach often leads to your success. So, what is the approach, the high-level principles that you should be taking to your finances that lead to long-term success? I've got that and more coming up. Our approach so often determines our success in life. Think about it with your health. If you have a goal of being healthy, you would know that you can't eat whatever you want and then work out really hard and end up being healthy. You might see like that could maybe work for a week or maybe a month or maybe when you're young, but long term, no, that doesn't lead, that approach doesn't lead to overall health. What about when you were in school? You couldn't avoid studying, not do any homework or anything all semester and then just cram right before the exam. You know that approach doesn't work. You might have tried it once. You might have had a friend where it worked for them once. You know that's not the right long-term approach. Or what about at work or in your relationships? You can't not give people the time of day and then all of a sudden when you need some help, reach out to them and they're going to help you. No, that's not the right approach either. So often in life, taking the right approach is going to lead you to success or not, right? And the same is true in our finances. And we know that taking the right approach in some areas is very obvious, right? Get started early, saving for your future. Don't get into credit card debt and so on. But what are some of the high-level principles, the right approach that you should take to your finances that leads to lasting long-term success? I've got 3 of them to dive into right now. The first, be proactive instead of reactive. Be proactive instead of reactive. One of my favorite books, 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. I know it's an oldie, but a goodie. And the very first habit of highly successful people is to be proactive. Think ahead. And thinking ahead, will life still come up? Will you need to respond to emergencies or issues that you couldn't have anticipated? Absolutely. But so often being proactive and thinking ahead to what's coming and preparing now for it will help you avoid a lot of surprises, prevent a lot of things that others will be forced to react to. And in your finances, this can really, really help you stay ahead instead of taking 1 step forward and 2 steps back. We know what reactive looks like. I didn't realize, all of a sudden the car needed new tires or we got in a car accident. Well, that can be a little bit predictable. If you expect, there's going to be maintenance needed on the car. I'll need new tires every 3 to 4 years or X number of miles. It's odds are we're going to have a fender bender every few years, and just setting that money aside, thinking, it's probably going to cost on average $150 or $200 a month for car maintenance. You're not going to have maintenance every single month. You might not even have it every single year. But if you take that approach, right, that proactive approach, then when car maintenance needs actually do pop up, you've got the resources there. And of course, same with retirement and saving up for your future. At the beginning of your career, you're not thinking about the 65-year-old you, right? But if you wait until you're in your 60s to start thinking about the 65-year-old you, you've squandered and missed a lot of time and a lot of opportunity. So be proactive, looking at all 6 areas of your financial life, both in your cash flow, like I talked about, saving up for known emergencies or known issues, certainly retirement planning, but be proactive with estate planning as well. Yeah, you're invincible. Nothing will ever happen. What if something does? Do you have the right documents in place? Do you have the right protections and insurance in place? Be proactive. And if this is not you naturally, right? We all have strengths and weaknesses. If you're not naturally a proactive person, great news. A certified financial planner is. They're not going to get into that profession. They're not going to be serving hundreds, if not thousands of individuals if they weren't proactive in sort of naturally thinking 2-3 steps ahead, playing 3D chess and helping you stay ahead of the game as opposed to just reacting to financial issues as they come up. The second overarching kind of high-level approach that I'd encourage you to take with your finances because it leads to long-term success is to apply long-term habits as opposed to searching for get-rich-quick schemes. Long-term habits as opposed to get-rich-quick schemes. Now, like all of these, you're going to see evidence at times where get-rich-quick schemes really pay off. Someone, Mark Zuckerberg, went to college, dropped out, put everything he had into this one company and it just soared. Or meme stocks, or someone that bought Bitcoin really early or something like that. You're going to see evidence where that, the right thing really early ended up paying out big for someone. And that may very well happen to you. However, if you assume or plan or approach your finances where, well, that's going to happen to me, or I've got to find a way for that to happen, or the only way I can have financial success is for that to happen, you're taking the wrong approach. It's likely, it's possible, it's possible, it's not probable that will lead to financial success. What's probable? The number one way that Americans, that individuals become millionaires is slow and steady savings into their retirement accounts, into their 401k. There's been studies after studies done on this, and the average millionaire that has become a millionaire here, self-made millionaire in the United States, isn't from building a business, isn't from, taking a long shot and ended up making it, or being an athlete, right? Those are very, very small odds. The primary way people amass wealth in this country is slow and steady, little bit over time, and investing it over the long term, starting small and building and saving and building that account over the long term, applying long-term habits of saving and being disciplined as opposed to searching around scrambling for get-rich-quick schemes. And then finally, a third overarching principle approach that you need to take in your finances that leads to long-term lasting success is integrating all 6 areas of your financial life as opposed to treating each of them as independent and separate. All of us have a financial life. It's weird to think about, but there's 6 different components to our financial life. And that's the same for you as it is for me, as it is for Warren Buffett, LeBron James, everyone. 6 areas to your financial life. Your present financial position, that's your cash flow. That's your banking relationships. How much do you have in assets? How much do you have in liabilities? How do you manage your cash flow? All that sort of stuff. Protection planning. What are the ways that you're managing the 5 major life financial risks that we all deal with? So possibly life insurance needs, disability insurance need, home and auto insurance need, health insurance, and long-term care planning for that. How are you managing those 5 major risks? Tax planning is the third area. That's not tax preparation. Tax preparation is compliance, getting the right number in the right box. Tax planning is proactively looking and saying, what are the opportunities for you to pay the least amount of tax over your lifetime, if not multiple lifetimes, and then do those opportunities make sense in your financial situation? Investment planning, what's the right risk tolerance for you? What's the right investment strategies or multiple investment strategies for you to get from where you are to where you want to go and achieve your goals in a safe way? That's investment planning. Retirement planning, where do you want to go? Where are you right now? What's the path to get there? And then on an ongoing basis, are you on track? Are you on track? Are you on track? There's 5 factors that need to weigh in there. And then estate planning. What are your intentions if something happens to you? If you're not able to manage your affairs, who do you want to carry on that responsibility and carry on those duties? And so society treats those 6 areas as separate. And I'll give you an example, okay? Do your banking online, check. Or maybe even have a budgeting app running in the background that's zero sum, that tells you how much money you spent, but doesn't really help you get towards your goals. Just okay, check. Get your insurance in place, and preferably name your price tool or use a lizard. Just get some coverage in place. Check, you're done. Get your taxes done. Check, you're done. Auto enroll into your 401k. Check, you're done. Target date fund. Check, you're done. Online calculated for retirement, or log into your 401k and it'll just tell you how much income, are you on track or not. No variables needed. No analysis needed. Check, you're done. And then LegalZoom or go online, get a will done, and you're set. Check, you're done. That's outside in financial planning. There's no one looking and saying, do all of these pieces fit together? Based on the cash that you have in your cash flow, your retirement goal and the assets that you've built up, your long-term plans and your estate picture, should you be maxing out that health savings account? And if you do, your HSA, if you do, when someone breaks their arm or needs to go to the doctor, should you pay out of pocket or use your HSA? What's the right approach? You need inside out financial planning, taking a look at your goals and all the unique individual differences with your financial picture right at the center of all those 6 areas, and then fusing those goals and applying that to, well, then based on those goals And based on your situation, this is the approach you should be taking within your protection plan. This is the approach that you should be taking within your tax plan. You should be doing pre-tax, maxing out your pre-tax 401k, and then also doing a backdoor Roth. That's what makes sense with your goals and your situation. Your estate plan should look like this based on your goals and your situation. It should be inside out, looking at all 6 areas of your financial life as one plan, not as separate components. So that's the approach you need. Those are 3 approaches that you need to take, high-level principles that lead to lasting long-term success in your finances. Work with your certified financial planner on that, and they've got to be doing comprehensive financial planning, taking that proactive, that 6-area approach and long-term habits, applying long-term habits. So work with your CFP on that. If you don't have a CFP on your team, you can contact one on my team. Find us online, Korhorn.com. That's Korhorn with K, wisemoneyshow.com. You can find us there as well, or give us a call, 574-247-5898. All right, there you have it. Go on and take your next wise step in your financial life.